Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Jurassic Parkcast episode. Uh, so the last where we left off is my previous episode. I talked about the first Jurassic World film released in 2015. I did it with Nathan and Daniel, but in this episode, we will be talking about the 2018 sequel, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And we have some special guests here for tonight. Please welcome back to my two guys who I haven't had in a while. Please welcome back to Jedi Grand Velle and Gojira851.
Thank you for having us.
Long time no see, guys. And
I know it's been a while. But
I haven't had you guys in a while. But it's so good to have you guys back. And Matt, I haven't had you on my show since Space Godzilla, right? Or was it?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, how have you been?
I've been doing great, and I see we got some people in the comments. Here's Mr. Monster Man. He says hello.
Yep, that's him.
So this is like my sixth, this is my fifth Jurassic Parkcast episode here, and then after this, I only have one more to go, and to talk about Jurassic World Dominion in the next time, and so this is Fallen Kingdom we're going to be talking about. That is kind of almost my least favorite Jurassic World film.
Well, I feel bad about that because I can feel you on that particularly, because there's one particular part in here when we get to it that I have to stress extremely, that just like, really, we went there, so, but we'll get there.
So before we begin, before we talk about Fallen Kingdom, I want to talk about the new trailer that was just released yesterday of Jurassic World Rebirth. And I know I didn't do a trailer reaction video to it because I just don't feel like it. And I just want to talk about, what are your thoughts about the new trailer that came out yesterday?
Well, you go first.
Yeah, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Oh, you go first?
I mean, oh yeah, I can.
I'll go first.
I can go first. I mean,
it looks really good. The opening sequence where it shows off the new mutant D-Rex looks fun. I get a lot of Orga feelings from this new creature, and just the horror suspense from it as well. A lot of people are saying this is reckoning from the books. The horror aspects that they're taking from it, which a lot of people have been asking for years. If they're going to do another Jurassic Park film, just reboot it or just remake it and then follow the books closer, which I kind of like that idea, but also you can't really beat the charm of the original films as well. So if they're going to do that, wait till much further down the line to do that, because they're so fresh, at least in my eyes. And then we get to the scene where with the T-Rex is actually chasing after them and then going through the water, which that is straight from the books as well. And
that's what I was gonna say. That scene in the trailer with the T-Rex after the raft that was actually inspired from the original novel.
Yeah, and that was so good. And in a way, selfishly, I wish they kind of hinted at it and not really shown more of the sequence that was in it, but it was still really good. Then they showed other sequences with the flying dinosaurs as well. Then they showed more of the mosasaur, which I will say is kind of a criticism. We saw pictures of the way the mosasaur looked in the films, but now it looks more like a giant, whale-esque, dinosaur-esque, kind of thing in it. Looks really good. Scarlett Johansson
looks like a mix between.
Yeah, and then we're seeing more like Scarlett Johansson, showing off, her, acting skills in this as well. Just, it looks like fun. I'm definitely going to be there in July when it comes out. It's definitely a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna see that too when it comes out. Like, and who knows? Maybe I'll do like a podcast episode about that, but it won't be till somewhere on the week after G Fest.
Mm.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm definitely gonna look forward to see this. And yeah, the trailer looks great, and the D-Rex, which is called the Destratic Rex. I think that's the full name of it.
Okay.
But I don't know. But yeah, it's just the Destratic Rex looks terrifying because it has like some T-Rex claws right there, and it has long arms. And I gotta be honest, I mean that creature kind of almost reminds me a little bit of Muto from the first MonsterVerse Godzilla film.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah, you're right.
I can see that.
Yeah, and also I realized that the new film is being directed by the same guy who directed the first Godzilla film from 2014,
Garrett Edwards, yes.
Yep,
Really?
and the music director for that new one is the same guy who also did the music score for 2014 Godzilla.
Mm.
Real? Oh, okay. All right. Where this is going? Okay.
Yeah, and so yeah, the trailer looks cool, and it does show like a little tank thing that has a two-headed dino with, but it just updated it then, because the first trailer it just shows like it shows a raptor with two heads, but in the second trailer it just changes up a bit. It kind of looks like it gives him more like wings.
Mm-hmm.
It may be. You know, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, like I said, the reason why I let Gojira go first because I figure like I'm hyped, but you know, I'm skeptical too. I'm guessing at this age, because see, I'm what you call granddaddy age right now. So I've seen a lot of films. I've seen a lot of them come go, and pretty much seen all the Jurassic films in theaters, intact. Some have been better than others. And this one, I could say, is a little bit better than the last two previous ones, in my opinion, from the trailer allotted. But like I say, I mean, I just hope that wherever it's going with, I hope the story holds to what it's doing. Because honestly, you know, we've had, me and Gojira have had this talk before. We've had the talk where, you know, Hollywood has this standard. It's like, let's just make absolute crap. You know, let's just make stuff that has no structure, has no depth, has nothing to base itself on something, you know, that will get the people excited. Because the whole purpose of doing a film is to hopefully bring people in and they feel a sense of, you know, structure there by watching this. I mean, trailers are just supposed to sweeten your appetite for the actual film. But nowadays, it's like they're just throwing stuff at the wall and think it's going to stick. And it's like, so that's the reason why I didn't want to go first. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. But I feel the trailer, I hope the trailer does the film justice in a sense.
Yeah, and in the beginning of the trailer, it shows like a huge lab what the Destratic Rex was. I mean, I feel like that might be for the opening of this film.
It's possible. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, because the way it looks, you know, you see the foreboding creature that's there in the red. It's like, oh, this is so ominous, you know. So like, what is going on? So
yeah,
and
I could when I saw this trailer that guy was struggling, want to get out. I was like, let me out. And the other person is saying, I'm sorry. That moment, that's like they took that from that scene from Godzilla. Like,
yes, that's a good. You mean the 2014 Godzilla?
Yeah, that from that scene.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. Yes, and that makes me kind of wonder: could the person that says "I'm sorry," could that person who's saying that to this person, could they be related to, I'm kind of wondering about that. That's kind of interesting thought process there. So.
Yeah. So we already talked about that new trailer that's just released yesterday. Now let's get on with the Fallen Kingdom, which is almost my least favorite. And that film is not as bad as, it's not as bad like as Jurassic Park 3. Believe me, Jurassic Park 3 is really worse or bad. Yeah, as I already mentioned it in my Jurassic Park 3 episode. But I don't like hate Fallen Kingdom. It's just okay to me.
Well, that's actually how I feel about it. I mean, I feel it's okay. I mean, it's got spectacle there. It's got this and that. It's got a little stuff sprinkled in there. But there, as I said before, there are moments where it just makes me think to myself, okay, this is so cliche. This is so tropey. And then you have characters who are just like screaming at the top of their lungs. I'm just like, okay, you're running the gamut a little too much right there. Okay. This is not, we don't need all that. It's like you have to have that stereotypical person. It's like they're a geek and it's like, wait. Okay.
Yeah. And I actually saw this film 2 times in theaters when it came out. And I think I saw it 1 time with my dad, and I saw it the second time with my mom and my stepdad. And
you were braver than I am. I just saw it once and I was like, that's enough.
Yeah. And I'll never forget when I saw the trailer of this, because it has some new dinosaurs in it.
Right.
And some of the cast were back from the first Jurassic World film. And I love how they actually bring back one of the original stars from one of the original films. Is Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm.
Jeff Goldblum, yes.
Yeah, who's only in a small part in this film.
Small but effective part.
Yeah, from the beginning and the end. What I heard that when they're filming this, when they filmed Jeff Goldblum and in the court scene, they actually filmed this in 1 day.
That shows how good of an actor he is. A lot of actors, they need multiple takes, they need multiple times and stuff like that. He's been acting since the 70s, in multiple types of pictures, from horror movies to romance to comedies to action. He's running the gambit. So for him to take it in 1 day, I can see that. I can absolutely believe that.
Yeah, it's like he's making a cameo.
Yeah,
basically that's what he is. I mean, the man he's got such range, and like I say, he's been acting as long as I've been alive, just about,
And I bet you guys didn't notice, but he's also made an Easter egg in the first Jurassic World film, but it's hidden somewhere in the background. But that one scene he was when the nerd guy was on this desk with the original Jurassic Park shirt with the girl next to him talking, and if you look closely on this desk, there are some books there. If you look carefully, there was a picture of Ian Malcolm on the cover of a book.
I think that's a reference to Jurassic Park 2, the second one. That's the book that he wrote in the second one. I think that's a reference to that. I need to watch the movie again. Was that the same picture? Was that like an older him, or is that a reference to the second film?
I don't know. I had to look back. It was
okay. That doesn't matter. But yeah, that's fun stuff. But yeah, it's fun. It's all fun stuff. Yeah, it builds into the bigger world, so it's all good stuff.
And I just watched the film last night, and I did some research, and there's not much to talk about this film. I mean, I did my best doing my research, learning of it, and I mean, I'll tell you why this is my least favorite, but like I said in the beginning, I don't hate it or anything. It was just okay to me. It's just there are some parts that I like and some parts I don't like. What I like about this one is like when they're going back to the island, and then and then the park is all covered in vines. I mean, after 3 years, that kind of like makes me think of the old visitor center is all overgrown with vines and all that. And I like the way how they come up with the idea for an active volcano was is kind of almost inspired from the original Jurassic Park novel, except they bombed the island.
Yes, I remember they in the book they actually blew it up and everything. It's like, and I can't remember if it was like through nuclear tactic or that they used like non-nuclear weapons to do that. I don't even know.
I think they firebombed it. Okay. I don't think they nuked it. They used like they firebombed it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't read the original novel, and what I do like most of it is like, yeah, and how the active volcano exploded and the island's destroyed. I mean, there are some sad moments in it. I mean, especially that Brachiosaurus at the end, like when it's walking by and the island's almost covered in smoke. When especially the Brachiosaurus, like he made like a little symbol. He was like standing up, like he made a symbol like from the original. That makes me think if that was the same Brachiosaurus from the original film.
Could have been, because remember, Rexy or Bertha, whichever name you want to give her, is still alive. So if she is still alive, then that Brachiosaur could still be alive as well. So it stands to reason that could still be the same Brachiosaur. But yeah, that is the biggest point of contention from this film, was that scene. That was the biggest that was the biggest talking point. And yeah, I remember watching it in theaters, and it was almost like the whole Littlefoot and Mom scene from Land Before Time. It's like,
yeah, that's
it like rips your heart out when you see that. It's just yeah.
Especially when you see it in the smoke, and you see the shadow of it. It's like, man, that's
that Brachiosaurus made a symbol from your childhood when you first saw Jurassic Park in theaters for the first time.
Yeah.
When I saw the scene, I almost grew a tear, and at the island explode. I actually do this. I was like, so long, Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Because that is the original home for Jurassic Park and World. And yeah, it's so sad that the island was gone, and then some of the dinosaurs were killed, and then some of them were rescued.
As is mentioned, the natural order of things was taken over, and pretty much everything was going back to where it should have been, because we have to remind ourselves that these dinosaurs are not by nature's design is made by man. And of course, like anything made by man, well, we can see so many illustrations of that from other things, and things are going to run amok. So
yeah,
this is what happens.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, after I saw it, that I think after I saw it with my parents, I mean, when I heard them talking, they said that this film was almost like a remake of The Lost World.
Oh, you mean the 1927? Is it? I forget what the year.
Wait.
That original one.
No.
The Jurassic. Oh, you mean Lost World Jurassic Park? Oh,
no, I'm talking about the sequel to Jurassic Park.
That's what I thought you meant. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, this film was almost like a remake to the 1997 The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Okay. Because see, when you look, you got when you gotta understand, like geek kids like myself, we know that this is called. I mean, we know that was called The Lost World, but we know that you go back in time almost 100 years ago, there was a film called The Lost World, which was made in England, and it kind of deals with that same scenario. But anytime you bring up Lost World, I'm pretty sure people will be quick to say, "Oh, you're talking about the Jurassic Park one, not the..."
Yeah, it's Jurassic Park.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, this film is almost like that, except there's no active volcano in the Lost World. I mean, the director of this, like I forgot his name, is
J.A. Bowl. I can't. Yeah, I can't. I was gonna say I can't remember his name. Yeah.
I mean, he does an amazing job in this. I mean, almost. I mean, and we some of you might know him that he directed some horror films.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't even see. I'm gonna put myself out there. I've never heard of this director until I saw this.
Me either.
Okay, so I don't really know what his line of work has been done with.
I'll read off some to you. Hang on. I got his filmography thing right here. Society of the Snow, The Impossible, The Orphanage, A Monster Calls, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, Marrowbone, Society of the Snow, Who Were We On? Okay. Spanish Movie, Free Falling. Oh, here's one you should know. World War Z. Oh, looks like he's tapped to do part 2. When is that coming?
Really?
Okay. The Queen of Spain. Never heard of that one. The Lego Batman movie.
Oh,
really? Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know he directed that.
Yeah.
I Hate New York. Okay. Don't Leave Me, and a bunch of very low budget films. So yeah. Wait
Am I
a minute.
to assume that he's like Hispanic then, if that's the case?
Wait a minute. This can't be right. Hang on.
Well, maybe so. I mean,
Yeah, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Director, yeah, J.A. Yeah. Those are things that they say he's known for. But yeah. Hold on.
You got to remember the internet is kind of screwy with certain information. You got to make sure.
Yeah, it is. Hold on. Let me fix that real quick. Let me do some. Director, yeah, J.B. Yeah, that's what's coming up as. So, yeah, very interesting filmography this gentleman has. So, especially the one I Hate New York, which, okay.
So I'm safe to assume when you said some Spanish films, I mean, I'm assuming he's got to be Hispanic then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I watched the making of the film, and he has has this accent voice,
Okay.
like.
That's what I kind of figured, because like I say, you cannot. That's one thing I can say. You cannot do something and not have that your heritage be on display. So it's like, yeah, okay, well, cool.
Yeah, and when I heard it, I think I heard like one of his favorite movies he ever watched from his childhood. It was I think some of the remake films of Dracula, and he just put some Dracula references in this film.
Also, the Wolfman. One of the biggest influences in this film is the Wolfman, especially with the Indoraptor. There's a scene in the film where the Indoraptor actually breaks free and is actually hunting, I believe her name is Maisie. Yeah, Maisie. And Maisie is hiding, so the Indoraptor is actually hunting her throughout the house, actually breaks free and gets onto the roof and actually howls at the moon. That is a reference. That is a reference to the Wolfman. That is a direct reference to the Wolfman. And if I may, one other thing, I don't mean to skip ahead, but the Indoraptor, there is supposed to be 2 Indoraptors originally in the original script.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
There's supposed to be a black-skinned one with a yellow stripe, and there's supposed to be a white one with a black stripe. The black striped with yellow, the black and yellow one kills the white striped one to be the dominant one.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, it was in our artwork and stuff. Yes, and if I may go on a little further, the Indoraptor is actually a straight-up monster. It actually destroyed the lights inside of its pen during this one routine thing, and actually drew in a worker. The worker actually went in to actually fix the lights. The Indoraptor killed the worker, and then when people noticed that the worker was missing, actually started looking for him and actually found the Indoraptor playing with a human skull.
Wow.
That was actually some of the original takes, and I had the original ideas they had for the Indoraptor, but didn't make it to the final product because that was a little too gory. But that's some of the original information I found out from another YouTuber. He's no longer making content right now. Shinobi something, but he was a big Jurassic Park fan. But I'll share his information in the group later. But yeah, he did a lot of information on this. But yes, the Indoraptor was originally written to be a much more scarier monster than what we got in the film, but had to be nerfed a lot for what we got in the film.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the Indoraptor, more information about him later. I mean,
okay.
I want to talk about what else are my favorites in this film. I mean, I do like the part how Owen was trying to find Blue, and when they reunite, but they actually reunite at an area when they found the original Jurassic Park Jeep. The car that was tipped upside down, and I wonder that was like the same one that the Jeep was fall out of that tree when Alan Grant rescued Tim, when the car tipped backward.
Yeah, and he says we're back in the car again, and Grant says like, well, at least you're not in the tree now.
Yeah. Yeah,
we have a comment in the chat. Jurassicworld.
I see that.
Yeah.
Does he read the chat? Yes, he reads the chat.
Yep. I see it.
He reads the chat very well.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, he wants to ask something too. That's the other
okay.
thing.
What would you like to ask?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I love that part when Owen and Blue reunite, and then it's like the way how Owen's like hands her like a little treat thing and frozen her. Blue kind of forgot all about Owen's tricks, and after 3 years, it just all that. I mean,
well, she's been on our own, pretty much in the wilderness. So it's like I haven't really forgotten you, but I've forgotten how you pretty much make me in other ways civilized, and I like to say, but no, I mean, and then you find out the actual conundrum of who and why he's there, and then like I say, it's a good moment, but somewhere along the lines, like this is about to be ruined. This moment.
Yeah, and yes, yeah. Owen.
Yeah, he has that. Yeah.
He says, "What happened to the original Brachiosaurus from Jurassic Park? It was seen in Jurassic World Fallenkingdom. It died. Are there very less Brachiosaurus left in the universe?"
Well, we talked about that earlier. Like, it might be the same one that was seen last when the lava, took over the island. It might be that one. Hopefully, it wasn't, but it's implied that it was that one. And because of the entire, destruction of the island, it might be that they all were wiped out, and very much we have what we have left from the ones that were destroyed. So, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, and so I already talked about like Blue and Owen, how they because so I have some thoughts about them. I mean, I know in the first Jurassic World that how Owen has his feelings for Claire, and I mean I know he has feelings for Claire in this one, but I honestly think he has more feelings for Blue because he Owen cares about Blue because he actually raised her ever since Blue was a baby, like along with Charlie, Echo, and Delta.
Well, remember, I mean, as you say, that's kind of an imprinting of a parent right there because, as any parent, whether it be the father or mother, no matter what species they are, you raise them, and at youth, it's imprinted on this, like, oh, you are that father figure to me. I mean, even though you don't look nothing like me, don't speak any of the language I speak, it's kind of an indication about just how life in general is, that it's kind of the reason why, it's like it's that sense of interracial, and I'm gonna get kind of political here when I say this. It's kind of a thought process of how people raise other children who are not that particular race that they are. Like I say, I put a good example. I'm crazy as it sounds, I'm Black, but I raised someone who's, yes, I know. I mean, amazing. Like, you're Black? I mean, I don't know. No, if I raise some child who's, like Native American, and that's only because something might happen to the parents. The simple fact is, you raise them with kindness, compassion, love, teaching them responsibilities, all these things. That is going to show future-wise when that particular child grows up, whether it be male or female, and they're going to say, that's what you call a dad, not necessarily, a father, because, a father, gave life to this particular, person, but you give life in terms of raising something that will benefit them to, be survival in the future, So when you see Owen, because when you see the video where he's, kind of ducked out, teaching the Blue, if he's kind of scared or kind of, and first time she bites him a little bit, but then the next time he does the same, and she just kind of just like does her head like that to him. It's like, it's showing immediately how species have the intelligence to know what is good and what is bad, and knowing that he teaches her, even though they're two different species, he teaches her how to kind of recognize what is compassionate, even though, like I say, they're different species. So I just wanted to put that out there because I feel that that's a kind of notion that you see in this film that totally goes over some people's heads, because, okay, we want to see dinosaurs, we don't want to see this compassionate crap, it's like, no, you have to see that in order to understand why his connection for Blue is so strong. And then it's like, later on you realize, like, his compassion for her, and just the same with her, she's able to recognize him for what he does for what she does for her, and vice versa. So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Blue is kind of everyone's favorite dino. I mean, she's not like the other raptors from the previous films.
No, they were man eaters. They pretty much was like gonna
tell you, so I want to. We already talked about Blue, but let's talk about some of the old and new dinosaurs in this. But before we talk about the dinosaurs, I want to talk about how they bring back the magic of animatronics. Yeah, they actually brought back the classic animatronic dinosaurs in this.
Yes,
I know in the first Jurassic World they use lots of CGI dinos in it, but they actually use one animatronic dinosaurs for the Dinopatosaurus. And but in this film they actually use more animatronic dinosaurs, like for Blue, like when she was like injured, like it's like you can actually tell that it actually looks realistic. Yeah.
I mean, that's, see, this is the thing. And see, I'm old school and everything. I know about the practical and the visual and all these things. And the thing I've realized watching, anything that deals with special effects or anything like that, you have to have a balance where you blend the two together, so they don't just say, oh, we're just using this particular part, or we're just using this particular. It's like, because like I say, look at Jurassic World, you can tell that majority of that was CG. I mean, some of it was a little clunky, some of it was a little, pretty good, but it's like you didn't have a mixture of techniques. You didn't have animatronics in there as an abundance. In here, you do recognize that, and you realize you need that interaction in order for the characters to interact. And I just wish that more productions would do this, but unfortunately Hollywood has its stamina. It's like, well, these are outdated stuff, and it's like, if the wheel ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, still, and I'm hoping, now you say that, I'm hoping that the latest Jurassic World will incorporate a lot of animatronics in there too. I would hope they will. For the long shots, CG, but for close-ups, put the practical in there. I mean, it can't hurt you. I mean, it's still in the budget. Why not?
Yeah, and I love how they actually made the animatronics of the T-Rex and the indoraptor parts, and it's like I know the guy who did the animatronics in this one. I forgot his name, but it makes me feel like he's like following the footsteps of Stan Winston, who did the animatronic dinosaurs from the original films, or you'll call it the Jurassic Park trilogy.
Yes, I mean, and I think I'm trying to remember what the name of the guy is. I mean, I can't, and I know this guy, and I can't think of him off the top of my head, but he was he was like what you call a steward to Stan Winston, and he and someone other pretty much created their own company, and they was able to bring together a lot of animatronics and whatever to this. We have a question.
Yep.
And how Biosins trended their Arexoraptors, like, and Carnotaurus, but how did they Genovaland manufacture it?
Are you saying, that's what I was gonna say? What are you talking about? Okay, I think he's saying genetically. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Like,
I'm thinking that's what he's talking about. Yeah. Well, you know what? Now that you asked that, it's the way they manufacture is pretty much the same technique. I'm assuming it's the same technique as they did in the original Jurassic Park films, where they took old mosquitoes that have been buried in amber, and they fill in the gaps of the genome with frogs, and that pretty much was the way they did that. But I'm thinking they probably did it a different way. I could be wrong.
Yeah, Biosyn is the rival company to Mr. Hammond, pretty much. Mr. Hammond and James Cornwell, he is the they were partners back in the good old days, but then they had their disagreement.
Oh yeah, Lockwood,
yes, and Lockwood and Biosyn actually broke off and became their own thing and did their own company, which became Biosyn, and then started poaching Hammond's own team, which was B.D. Wong's character, Dr. Wu. Yeah. And they pretty much had the idea of what they were going to do with the gene sequence caps, the frogs and stuff like that. And they kind of perfected it, and they got the general idea. Now, there are a lot of ideas that they got wrong with it, and they took them a while to do it. Now, the original idea from what they got right was, what James Lockwood did was a baby elephant was the first idea that they did. And then he got that down right, where Hammond went off and he started doing dinosaurs pretty much. That was, the divide, which when eventually Lockwood actually started doing human genetics as well, which broke up their friendship. That was the main thing that did that. But then Biosyn, they started being a lot more cutthroat with the way how they would do their dinosaurs and stuff like that. So that's when, they eventually, start getting in with more, underhanded techniques and start stealing, from Dr. Hammond. Now, why don't you call him Doc? From Mr. Hammond and, from Jurassic Park. And then would actually then go off and create their own stuff, out in the mountains, out in Europe, pretty much. So yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so I want to talk about some new dinosaurs in it, like the bionics, and we'll get to the indoraptor later. But I want to talk about the Carnotaurus. They actually bring a Carnotaurus in a Jurassic Park or World film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when I remember when I saw the trailer, I got excited. They saw the Carnotaurus, like they finally bring one in the film. But it's apparently this one is not like from the Lost World novels by Michael Crichton, because in the original novel of the Lost World, Jurassic Park, is where the Carnotaurus has chameleon DNA, which like allows it to camouflage, and which I did mention in my Lost World episode. And, yeah, but in the Fallen Kingdom, it's not like from the book. It's just a normal average Carnotaurus with frog DNA and not with chameleon DNA. But I just wish they could have added chameleon DNA to this so it allows it to camouflage, kind of like in the arcade game.
Yeah, right at Chuck E. Cheese's. I remember playing that at Chuck E. Cheese's. Yeah, that was one of the boss battles.
Yeah, and I thought the original Jurassic Park Sega game was in the Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, usually you see one of those in Chuck E. Cheese, but not much Lost World. I mean, arcade. I remember playing the Lost World arcade at Miners Mike in Lickety Ozarks, Missouri, because it's one of my favorite games. Every time I play that game, like every time I go there, I just start playing that game. Yeah, the Carnotaurus is okay in this one. It's just, I know they made lots of details of Carnotaurus in different films, especially the film Dinosaur of the Disney film. Yeah, but I liked how the T-Rex Rexy came out of nowhere. It just bites the Carnotaurus, drops her in the ground, and gets a victory roar. I mean, that shot, it makes me think of that old classic painting of Sue the T-Rex from the Field Museum in Chicago.
That's one of the things. If I ever go back to G-Fest, I want to make a detour and I want to stop at that museum and see that, because that's like a huge life-size T-Rex statue that they actually did. Just looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, and the T-Rex she only appears in short and for a short time in this one. I mean, I know she only made an appearance in the first Jurassic World for the famous fight scene, and but this one she only appears for a few seconds, like a minute or two. Like she appears and then she walks away, and
basically, I mean, we have to remember she like Malcolm. Is it Malcolm Price? Malcolm Price. Okay, Jeff Goldblum's character.
Ian Malcolm.
Ian Malcolm. Thank you, Ian Malcolm.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm thinking Malcolm Price. I'm thinking something. I'm thinking totally different. They're only in there for a few minutes, only to give some gravity to the story, because they're not the main focus of the story. So I figure that's why they're in it. Because when she comes, I mean, I guess when she comes up, it's like it's a big surprise. Like, oh my God, there's the Rex, and everything. So it's kind of harkened to saying that, okay, we see her, we see that she's in cage, and everything, but like Jeff Woon's character, she's not in there for a long time. She's only in there just to give you, some sweetening thing right there, So.
And yeah, and so let's talk about the bionics who appeared in that one room. It's almost like the destruction room, and that Claire and this kid who was with them, and who screams a lot, who's played by Justin Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, he's always afraid of it. It's like, it's the T-Rex. It's the T-Rex. Like, it's not the T-Rex.
Not the T-Rex.
And he screams like a girl in this one. Like,
basically, I mean,
Yeah.
he's
To add some levity to the scene.
Exactly.
yeah, and I mean the Bionics, it was cool. I mean, he does have the head of mix of a crocodile's head and the Spinosaurus, which I heard the Bionics is almost like related to the Spinosaurus family, almost.
Yeah, it's a crocodilian. It's one of the crocodilian dinosaurs. Yeah, it's related.
Yeah,
we have a question. Go ahead and ask.
And I want to say that you should know that the Bionics was it was supposed to be like the original logo symbol for Jurassic Park 3. Mm-hmm. It's like one of the earliest logos for JP3 for the Bionics. It said, but then it was replaced with the Spinosaurus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Do you guys talked about Chaos
Theory? I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the series, and I only watched Camp Cretaceous, but I'd never seen Chaos Theory.
Yeah, I've only seen the films. Yeah, I'm a bad Jurassic Park fan.
Let's see.
Yeah, and so I want to talk about the cast. I know Owen and Claire are back in this, and I know they have some new cast in there. I mean, and I love how Claire arrives at Lockwood's mansion, that she saw a photo frame of John Hammond. That's is Richard Attenborough, like himself,
who's a famous director by chance.
Yeah, it's like that painting is almost like they capture. It's almost like an AI photo of him.
Oh yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I think he was long. I mean, did he pass away?
He passed away. The Richard Attenborough, he passed away the year before the first Jurassic World film came out.
Yeah, because I think he was close to 100, wasn't he? Something like that.
Oh, but what I heard,
I could be wrong now. Don't give me starting lies out here. But I think, like I say, he was up in age. I know.
Yeah, and I know that John Hammond, they say I know that John Hammond he's only in 2 films. I mean, and they did say that he actually passed away like after he gave that speech at the end of The Lost World.
Okay, so his character died, but not the actor. When I say the actor, the person who portrayed him didn't die right away.
Yeah, I mean, he died like after The Lost World of his character, but the actor who played him, he passed away the year before Jurassic World.
Okay. Because I knew he was still around. I figured he was still around, but I didn't know exactly.
He's still around.
I mean, yeah. I thought That's why I say. I mean, was he still alive? Because I didn't know for sure.
Yeah, and I want to talk about some new characters like Lockwood. Like, he's used to be John Hammond's partner, who's played by, I forgot his name was.
James Cromwell.
First he used to raise pigs, but now he's like trying to raise dinosaurs. Like, because he's in the movie Babe.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in Babe. He's been in a many films. He's a very well-known character actor. He's been in a Star Trek film. He's been in a film with Clint Eastwood. He's been in multiple films.
He makes robots as well, and has to be hassled by Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got around. I mean, he's even for anybody who doesn't know, he's even done a gratuitous nude scene, but I won't tell you what film that was in.
Oh,
yeah, keep it to yourself there.
Exactly.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. I don't want to know.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I guess.
And when you do find out, you're gonna be like, "Oh no, this is what I was talking about." So
if you did bring it up, I'll have to mute you.
Yeah, okay. you're gonna go to the corner.
I'm not doing that. No.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, his character is like he does a great job in this film, and he
does.
And I like the way how he has a meeting with Claire along with his partner, who is the villain in it. Mm-hmm. That he tells the story about how he used to work with John Hammond. They were partners before Jurassic Park, and they used that Doc was mentioned. It's the one that started how they create their first dinosaur, like how they find the first amber, and then they have this secret lab basement, and it's just a history of that. It's like, and I like the way how he carries a cane of, I don't know, it's like the original cane of John Hammond's used to have, but I'm not sure.
I mean, they might now. I'm thinking that could be a duplicate of the cane that Richard Attenborough's character had. I mean, I'm assuming it is because they were in bed together, making up this genetic, for whatever, making clones of things. But I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't know if that's the actual cane or just a duplicate cane. I mean, that's a
thing business partners they like to do, like they get like matching sets of things like pens or watches or stuff like that. They might have gotten matching walking canes, with the amber and the wasp in it. So it might be just matching. That might be his. Where John had his own, that might be his. So that's my theory.
Yeah, and how they become great partners, and I think they actually separated, like, I don't know, it's like before Jurassic Park or after The Lost World, but I don't remember. Like,
I think from what I heard, when you watch the film, I think it's like a little bit before Jurassic Park because of what the abomination that Lockwood would do, and it's the reason why they parted ties with one another, and that's. I mean, they were on something great, but. Lockwood went beyond the Call of Duty and doing something that was just like, okay, now you're trying to, I mean, true enough, John was playing God in a sense. Lockwood really wanted to say he is God because of, I don't know if I'm spoiling anything right now. He pretty much made a clone of someone that he was not supposed to make a clone of.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, and also, like, the one thing I don't like about this film are the human villains. This is Miles and...
Yeah, they're a bit cartoony.
Yeah, yes. They kind of... Yes. Some people say they kind of do a bit of, like, a cartoon.
Yeah, because, like...
mustache.
Ted...
mustache.
Ted... What's the guy's name who yanks the teeth out of different...
Yeah,
guys? To me is
Kent Wheatley. Yeah, the dude that likes claiming trophies out of all the dinosaurs. Yeah, that's a little too. He's a little too on the nose.
Yeah, sometimes like, okay, really, dude. It's like,
you're burying the lead a little too much with this guy. Okay, we get it. He's a bad guy. He's a poacher. We already hate him. Okay, you don't have to go. We get it.
Yeah. Yes. Oh! I forgot. I left one thing about Lockwood. I mean. I know he did mention that he was going to save the dinosaurs and transfer them to a new island.
A new habitat, yes.
Yeah, a new habitat for them with no fences, no thing. But I don't know. They never did mention what that island is. But the one thing they didn't bring up and they never thought about is Isosorna Side B was never brought up about it. I know that Miles did bring up about it before Sora and but they never bring up about how Isosona was a suggestion to transfer the dinosaurs there.
I think it was taken in a storm. I think I think it was no longer viable. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I know in Jurassic Park 3 they say that island was restricted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's I mean, because that was a kind of a mystery to me. I was kind of like, they're talking about this island, and the guy who's telling Claire this specifically, he's saying, you know, this is going to be the habitat, this is going to be the place and everything where the dinosaurs are going to roam without any kind of confliction. And I'm like, they never mentioned a name, and I'm wondering, could it be somewhere close, like maybe say 10 or 20 miles from the original, you know, Jurassic World place? You know, I don't know. I mean, it is a head scratcher, but I mean, maybe that's left to the audience to be ambiguous, you know, in some sense. Who knows? That could. And I'm gonna put this. I mean, someone had a theory. I'm gonna bring up a theory. I'm wondering, is this the island that they're talking about that's going to be projected in Rebirth, possibly?
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, but who knows? I mean, so let's get back to the human villains. I mean, I know that the soldier guy, I forgot his name was, that he like trick. He wants like Owen and Claire dead. Like they just one of like the other team just lock her up in that transfer room, and that villain guy just shot him with the darts, like a tranquilizer, and
yeah, that's what it was, a trankum.
Yeah, and then it's just especially Miles. He's like the main villain in this one. He's like even worse than the other villains in the previous Jurassic Park films.
Yeah,
I know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, I know this film is almost like a remake to the Lost World Jurassic Park, but the Lost World doesn't have not much human villains in there. I mean, I know that Hammond's nephew, I mean, he's almost like between a good guy and a bad guy. I mean, between. I mean, this film, it has like the villains in there are just worse. They just tricked them, and then the good guys thought they're gonna have them transfer the dinosaurs to another island, but no, they just bring them back to Lockwood's mansion. They sell the dinosaurs because Miles like just betrayed Lockwood for money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
there's no gray areas in this. It's straight up black and white. These guys are the good guys. These guys are the bad guys, and that's just the way it is. There's no, wiggle room in this, and it's just so, painfully, over the head, beating you over the head how much they're bad guys in this. Between them stealing teeth from defenseless dinosaurs, or locking little kids in their rooms, or selling dinosaurs to like greedy people around the world for like Christmas presents. It's like, is this really where this is going? Is this really where this is going? Like, come on. It's just, come on.
Yeah, Miles, I really hate him in this one. I mean, he really wants the money. He's just selling the dinosaurs, and he just wants to get rid of Claire and Owen. I mean, and he actually killed Lockwood. Off screen.
Yeah, that shows you his ferocity of what he will do to make a profit. If you're willing to kill to do this, yes, he is down and right dirty.
Yeah, he's trying to get away with it, and especially that other villain who is selling the dinosaurs. I mean, I know him.
Yes, that small
some
guy.
film.
Yes.
Yeah, I know him. I know he was in that new Indiana Jones film that came out almost 2 years ago, and
yeah.
Okay, yeah, we know
and
about that.
there's not much about him. I mean,
Yes.
I know that the actor who played Miles in this one, I mean, I think he's actually the son who I forgot the actor name was, but he was that who play Wontel or Peter Pettigrew in the Harry Potter saga.
Oh, okay.
Who played
Spall.
The rat guy.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's English then, right?
Yeah, the guy who played Miles. So he's actually the son of the guy who played Wontel in the Harry Potter saga.
Because everybody in I was gonna say everyone in Harry Potter are pretty much from England. So that's why.
No. Toby Jones was in this. He was the guy who was curating all of like the sales and stuff. The guy you're talking about, he was in different. You're thinking of a different guy. But the guy who was Toby Jones, he was in the Indiana Jones film you're thinking of. He was also in Captain America: The First Avenger, and he was Arnim Zola, and he was also in The Winter Soldier. He was like the little computer program. They're similar actors, but they're different. They're different guys, but they're close to the same height and size, but they're different people. But I know. It's common misconception. But I know you're talking about though. I know the actor that you're thinking of.
Yeah, and so but one of my favorite moments of that Miles gets eaten by Rexy at the end when he was trying to pick
awesome.
That it was awesome. Like
that, but that came out of left field so quick. Because see, if you notice when before he gets eaten by Rexy, you see another dinosaur in the back.
Yeah, the Carnotaurus.
And you think like, oh, that one's about to get him. And then all of a sudden, yank!
Yeah, the T-Rex got him first, and then he shared a piece of leg with the Carnotaurus.
Yes.
Well, guys, you have to remember something. The Tyrannosaurus Rex was essentially the lion, the king of the jungle, the king of the dinosaurs, back in the day. So sneaking up and appearing out of nowhere is something that that she was meant to do. Okay. Just because they're so large and so massive doesn't mean that she can still not sneak up on you. Even though they're large, they're still ambush predators as well. They just
stealth technique.
Yeah, even the king of the dinosaurs even faced with the king of the jungle, like at the end, like Rexy faces a lion.
Yes.
They're warring at each other. I thought that was awesome.
Yep. That was meant to be that symbolism of showing like who's the real king or who came first and who's second in command. So yeah.
And I want to talk about the grandchild in this one, Maisie, like
oh boy,
who's played by Isabella. But yeah, she was actually Lockwood's granddaughter, but it turns out that I was so shocked and I did not see it. But when Miles explained it, it's like, how do you think Lockwood and Hammond split up? Like, Lockwood never had a grandchild. He just wanted his daughter back. Well, let me back it up. First, he explains that his daughter passed away, and but it turns out that Maisie was actually a human clone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was so shocked that she's a clone, just like the dinosaurs.
Yep, the forbidden fruit. The one thing that Ian Malcolm was worried about in the first film, the whole thing he was saying to Hammond right after the first talk of, splicing, DNAs, the scientists talked about whether they could, whether they should. The horror is now that they've cloned a human, that's the biggest, no-no. and that's what broke up Hammond and Lockwood. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interject right there.
No. And I was just gonna put this in there. It's like, to me, that I actually was kind of taken by surprise by that, because I wasn't expecting that particular, notion that he actually did that. But when you hear him say it, it's like, but then you feel like it kind of makes sense. But then you realize why they broke up, because it had to been something tremendously serious why they broke up. So yeah.
This kind of makes when they brought this up, like it kind of reminds me of that moment from Godzilla versus Biollante when Dr. Tsunami, like
Shiragami.
Dr. Shiragami, like trying to find a way to bring back his daughter back, but by using Godzilla cells in a plant, because her spirit is in it. It kind of reminds me of that scene.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Yep.
It's almost the mad scientist routine if you think about it. But I mean,
got a little Frankenstein in there.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's that. It's more of that towards anything. But you realize he's doing it because of his love for someone he lost.
Yeah, and that makes me think. I wonder if she has like dino DNA inside her. I mean, makes me feel like before Dominion. I mean, it makes me think. I wonder if the next film is gonna have her turn into like a human dino hybrid dinosaur. Like, I know that maybe sound ridiculous. I mean, because what I didn't mention in the previous episode of the earliest draft, and that they were gonna have like human and dino DNA of a hybrid dino cross between dinosaurs and humans. Like
well, that doesn't seem so far-fetched. I mean, when you say that sounds a little out there, it's like I've heard stranger, I mean, I've heard much weirder concepts of certain things, but I don't know. I mean, that's see, I didn't realize if they did do that, if they did kind of blend her daughter's cells with dino cells. I mean, possibly, and if that is the case, who knows? I mean, we've seen those kind of transfers of people's cells mixing with other species cells, so who's to say it couldn't happen?
Yeah, and yes. So yeah, and I know there was something suspicious about that little girl, and
well, I mean, it's giddy. It's kind of throwing a pebble in the water to make a ripple of say what's going on with this kid. You realize she's very hyperactive, she's very curious, she's very all these things, and there's that moment where she's with her grandfather, and she says, well, he tells her, it's like, you're just like your mother. You're almost like a spitting image of her, and all these things.
Yeah, and I know. And I know that the Nana, like, who is the nursery, who did mention that I know she raised her. She did mention that she raised both of them. Mm-hmm. She explained it to Miles, but I raised her. I raised both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it does shows an image of the Nana and her mother clone, the original clone of her, whatever you want to call it.
When she was a child, yes. I mean,
yeah.
But you see the nanny, pretty much in her youth, and you kind of think like, okay, well, she raised the mom, so it's like it makes sense, and she's an older person now, but as you say, we come to find out it's like, oh, there's more to this story than we thought it was.
Yeah, and I also love the part of the action scene when Owen and the Pegasaurus dino thing is like appear in the elevator. That's like a cool fight scene of the action scene when Owen fights off the soldier. It's like by himself, and they Phylosaurus fuss off the audience, the rich audience. That's like my favorite moment, and with the indoraptor locked up.
Yes.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the indoraptor.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So this creature, I know it looks an awesome design of this creature. I know they used the DNA of the Indominus Rex from the bones, and they kind of use some more raptor DNA to it. I mean, they said that she's a prototype, and they actually used that dino for for an army. Is it
for military uses?
For military use. Yeah, and I liked how they used like a little laser to trigger the target, like to act a homing signal.
Yeah, so you put the laser on the target, and then you hit this button on the gun to say signal. There you go. I mean, it's
like
it's
attack.
Actually, yes, it's actually similar to something in actual military hardware where they have laser guided missiles where they focus a laser on a particular target, and that particular bomb actually goes right to the laser. I mean, to the target where it's been lit up. That's the same example with this. You know, it's just very more. I mean, not crude, but more sophisticated because it's a living creature. It's been designed to do that.
Yeah, when they trigger the target and it actually activate the signal, that it makes me think that actually took that from the Return of Godzilla from 1984. You know, that scene when they had like the ultra bird signal. That makes me think. That kind of reminds me of that.
Mm-hmm. I can kind of see that. I mean, I can actually see. I mean, because they use that to lure Godzilla into a certain trap. So yeah, I can see that. You know.
Yeah, and this dino is not is they say this dino is like more vicious than the Indominus Rex. Almost.
Maybe because it's smaller. I mean, this is just my opinion. I think because it's a little smaller, it has more room to where it can get through certain more, smaller spaces. And the way it looks is so slithering. It looks like a snake, in a sense, and it's like it's rambunctious,
Yeah, I mean, and I love the fight scenes between her and Blue.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
Yeah, I thought that's like a perfect fight, another perfect fight scene of Blue and the Indoraptor, kind of like the Indominus Rex and the Rexy from the first one.
Yeah,
which was a good fight, I have to say, with that between those three.
Yeah, it's just I thought that's like awesome. And
but I think in here,
it's not as great as the previous fight. I mean, the fight is okay. I mean, it's just, I still like it. And
well, I think it's something that Gojira brought up. This is supposed to be more on the horror scope, in terms of how it's projected, and especially with this new dinosaur, And I think it's on purpose that it's in a castle. Basically, you might as well say it's a big house, but it's a castle, in my opinion, where it's roaming around in the dark or in the light, and it's just like it's searching for certain people, and it's like
especially Maisie, like
yes,
and I love that scene when she was on that little longitude escalator thing, and then she's trying to pull down the Indoraptor was chasing after her. After she closed it, the Indoraptor just hit the wall against the door. That's actually like a reference from the first Jurassic Park film, with the two raptors in the kitchen.
Right.
Yep. That's actually a reference to it.
Okay.
One scene I wrote. I'm sorry.
And there's also another reference at the end too, after the Rexy eat Miles, and And she actually made a single, like a victory war. Like she actually made the same signal from the ending of Jurassic Park. She fought the two raptors.
Mm.
You know, like the thing drops down when dinosaurs ruled the earth.
Yes, I know you know about. Yes,
She did made a reference to that.
I'm trying to remember what the reference was. It might have gone over my head, but I mean, I think I know what you're talking about, though. But but the battle between Blue and that particular dinosaur, it is pretty clever. But when she does take him out, and that's a question right there. Was it a male or female?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I think it was the female. I think it was the female that killed the male.
okay.
If I remember the story correctly.
Yeah, Desi said that the black indoraptor was a female, and then the white indoraptor was a male.
Yeah, I think if I remember the story correctly.
Yeah, I did not know there were supposed to be two indoraptors.
Yeah, there was. Yep. Yeah, and she was a straight up horror movie character behind the scenes. And one scene I really liked is like when the Indoraptor was chasing our heroes. She was behind a pane of glass, and when the raptors start roaring at her, you actually see the reflection of the Indoraptor in her face. It was like kind of giving you that like thing where like she's a clone as well, so like they can kind of like have like a mirror like image into each other. So it's like they're already referencing that. And also the thing that what actually makes the Indoraptor almost scarier than the Indominus Rex. I mean, you have something like the size of a bus chasing after you. I think that would almost be scary, especially when it can blend in with its surroundings. Because the Indoraptor didn't really blend in. Also, but it can actually pursue you throughout the house that you're around as well. And also, it likes to play with its food. I mean, like kind of like the Indominus Rex played with its food a little bit, but no, this thing like took joy in what it was doing. Also, it set traps. Like earlier in the film, like it set up like the poacher guy. What was his name?
Yes,
Ken Wheatley. You know, he liked to take trophies. You know, taking teeth from the dinosaurs. Well, he wanted to take the tooth from the Indoraptor. It was playing asleep. And the raptor actually smiled, which actually showed it had some kind of sentience to it, you know, whether it was human or whether it learned by watching everybody else, you know, through its cage or other stuff, and actually lured him in, just like I was talking about earlier, and actually, you know, took his arm off and then killed him as well.
Yeah, so I don't know why those trigger like tranquilizers didn't affect on the Indoraptor.
She's so much bigger and so much. She has so much more going for her. She's much bigger, so much going for her. So yeah, I can only assume that she's got like a higher tolerance for tranquilizer stuff like that. You needed something with like much more bigger brunt force trauma, like what happens in the end, to take her out. So that's my theory.
Yeah, and I don't know, you guys. Like what I do know, you know, the gyrosphere, like the giant hamster ball, it was back in this. You know, when Claire and this kid were in it, escaping, like when after the gyrosphere like jumps out the cliff into the water. You know, in the making, they actually build a gyrosphere like, but with a green screen behind it, and they actually build like a little mini roller coaster. For the actors to be in it and trying to make them look so scared and terrified when they drop down.
Yeah, that's the brilliance of special effects. It's like make it where they actually feel something that, you know, it's like, oh, look at this blue X, or look at this, like it'd be scary. No, put something in there where they actually can have some reaction to it, and they can actually feel like, oh my God, we're in danger. That's what you're supposed to do. This is the art of special effects at its best, where you actually have something on set for the actors to portray fear or happiness or sadness or whatever, you know, have that there, so it won't be just like thinking off the top of your head. It's like, yeah, I can think it off the top of my head, but it's like I need more than that, you know.
Yeah, and and yeah, it's almost like they took that roller coaster ref is said, like it's almost like they based that off of the original Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios theme park. You know, with the giant drop at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost like it kind of looks similar to that, and and I love the ending of this. I mean, all the dinosaurs are free. I mean, and also I almost I almost grow a tear when where Claire like didn't press the button. It's like to set the dinosaurs free when the poison gas was released. Because when Owen says like, Claire, you press a button, there's no going back. Because they should have let the dinosaurs on the island to die off, but they had to rescue them. But no, like Claire just kind of left them in there trying let them die because of the poison gas. But Maisie was just actually set them free because she explained that she has it because they're alive like her because she is a clone.
If I can, before Jedi says, this was Claire's arc that she started in the first film. In the first film, she worked for the island. She worked for the system. And then she saw how the system just didn't work. So in this film, she's an advocate for the dinosaur. She creates it's not really like Monarch, but like it's like a dinosaur advocacy thing, and trying to save the dinosaurs pretty much. And then she's like contacted by Lockwood to find a way to save the dinosaurs then. And she's all these ways to save the dinosaurs, in a peaceful manner. And now she has a chance to save them, but then if she saves them, it's going to doom humanity pretty much. So all of it is in her hands now. So it shows the huge moment that she's been through, this huge journey she's been. So it's like, wow, up and up. So it's like, I've heard over and over again that these movies don't have any story and they're very shallow. I beg to differ. These movies have quite the amount of storytelling to them. So this is like a very powerful moment. And then when it gets to Maisie and then making her a decision, yeah, on paper, this does sound very, very silly. But in my opinion, I'm glad that she made the decision because she would have killed Rexy. I'm selfish. But, all right, take it away, Jedi. Let's have it.
No, you know how you give out your potential of how you feel about a certain scene. This is a moment where, yes, we have Claire's moment. She's been, fulfilled in what needs to be done and everything. When what's her name again? The little girl,
Maisie.
When she does the release, she pretty much says, I'm alive, or they're alive. I'm alive. Okay. I 100% understand her plight with that. I understand why she did it. It's a very noble thing because they are living creatures. You don't want to see them die. You don't want to see them extinct in some kind of way. That being said, I think that's got to be the dumbest, far-fetched, idiotic notion that I've ever seen someone do. And this is a child. Children usually be smarter than this. And I have to say, if it had been adult, I would have just said, you moron, why are you doing this? You're letting out the cat out the bag onto a civilized world. And you think that's all you're doing is doing exactly what man's been doing all their lives, screwing up stuff just to think that you're doing something well for the world. All you're doing is causing more chaos. So forgive me for getting irate like that, but I feel that was one of the biggest and stupidest character traits a character could have ever done.
Yeah.
That's just me now. I mean, that's just me. Anyone could take it and say, dude, come on, man. It's a movie. It's a little girl. I'm sorry. No, that is total BS. That is total just no. If you let them die, the balance would have been, cemented. But you created more anarchy, and now we are dealing with more stuff that we don't need right now. You're causing chiasm. And I'm like,
she like
what
released.
are you doing?
Now she let all the dinosaurs in the United States. Now the dinosaurs are all over the world.
So you see why because Gojira already knew what I was going to kind of blot out. But yes, this is a moment. And see, some people never think I'll be this strong-headed about certain things. But when I saw that in the theater, I'm thinking like, I'm feeling kind of sad for the dinosaurs. I am. I'm feeling some kind of way for them. It's like maybe it's best for them to just go extinct. When you see the door open, when you see the doors opening, it's like, what's going on? And then when you pull back and you see she's standing at the button, I was like,
well, I think she has to, because she's like them, like the dinosaurs, because she's a clone, and then I think they had to do this because we want to know what happens in the. We all know there's going to be a third film after dinosaurs were released. We already know that there is going to be a third film.
But this doesn't help no matter what how much you.
If she hasn't released them, there will no be a third film.
Or a fourth, pretty much. Yes, and this is why I know this is why I didn't saw another showing of it, because that moment pretty much destroyed my faith in humanity to a degree. We see Claire has a moment of clarity, pun intended. We see she has a moment with that. Macy pretty much just took that, what I thought was there, and just and I'm just like, well, I know we're going to get another movie, but at the same time, that was the dumbest thing you could have done. And it's like, and true enough, I'm glad that Mills got what he deserved. He did deserve what he got, but I'm just like, I'm sorry. It's just, to me, this is what made me realize, like, in that moment, that human beings will always be their own demise when it comes to their existence.
Yeah.
I just had to say that. Yes.
Yeah, and so I think that's just about that's all I have thoughts about this film. Is there any more thoughts you have about this before we wrap things up?
I'll just add this. I'll just say this. The film, as you mentioned before, it's not really bad. It's got some good points. It's got some good moments. I just feel like I think some of the stuff they do a little too much in terms of, they're trying to say, we're trying to get you to like what's going on, but it's like, don't do it so much. Because like I say, with the first Jurassic World, it was actually more low budget than this film. It was lower budget than that, but they did it in a simpler way. This one is like, we're throwing it at you, and you got to catch it, and you got to make sure you like it. That's not how things work in the real world.
Yeah,
I feel like, they kind of missed. It made money. It made a good profit, but in the end, though, this film, it's not my favorite of the Jurassic Worlds. It's not.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about that. About this film. It's like I said, it's okay to me. It's just the human villains I don't like.
Yeah,
in this one.
I second that.
Yeah. I gotta say that thank you guys so much for joining me in this episode, and I'm glad to have you guys back. It's been a long while.
It's been a good ride, but yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll have you guys on my show again next time, and so that's all we had to say about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So next time the next episode will be the last Jurassic Park cast episode. Next up will be Jurassic World Dominion. And yeah, and then after that will be Rebirth. And yep, it's I like to call Dominion my last Jurassic Park cast episode. And so I want to thank you guys again for joining me, and for all of you guys who are watching, don't forget to like and subscribe for more podcast episodes coming soon. Yeah. So remember, guys, life finds a way.